Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and from unboxings.com, and here I have in front of me what I think is fair to say is actually quite an unusual box design. And inside we have the LG Optimus Black. We're going to have a quick look at the box before we actually take a look at the handset. So it's a large box, pretty unusual. I'm sure this isn't full retail and that this is really just a PR thing, but we're going to have a look nonetheless. The LG Optimus Black, or P970, will be found inside. So it opens up with thick cardboard sides. It kind of looks like a folder, and at the top we have a booklet which opens up. It says what lies within, and we go through a series of pages. Within the pages of the book you will discover something black, and there we have the handset within the pages, quite literally. And it's quite nice, quite a nice book, and with the graphics inside that. And we flick all the way through. Something to read another time, but the Optimus Black is actually stuck in place just inside. I'm going to come back to that in just a second. I'm going to finish looking at what else we have in the box, and then we'll switch to a slightly less wide angle lens and look at the handset properly. So in the box we have a USB charger. It's a European charger, 2 round pins. We also have a pencil and a memory card, which is a 2 gig micro SD memory card and SD adapter. A set of headphones, or a wired headset in fact, so 4-pole 3.5mm jack with a microphone in line with a push button, and then in-ear headphones. Then a USB cable. It's a micro USB sync charge cable with a standard USB connector on the other end to be used with the charger, which has the USB connector. And then there is a booklet which is primarily blank. I'm wondering if that's what the pencil's all about. So it's a little black book, quite literally. Bit of fun. And then just in the other part is the the manual, warranty card and all that kind of stuff. As I say, this is a PR thing really, just to present the black. Obviously a very, very black theme here. So it's kind of cool. Last time we saw anything even approaching this was with the Nokia N900 with a hacker box. So I'm going to just close this up and move this out of the way. Very nicely done though, very nicely presented. I'm just going to switch and remove the wide angle lens so that we can then have a look at the handset a bit more closely. So on the front we have a 4-inch display. It's 480 by 800 pixels. It is LCD. It's an IPS, but it has what LG call the Nova technology, which in short is a technology that allows, or they claim, uses 50% less power, and also is extremely bright. 700 nits is what they claim, and that's kind of it's around about at least 50% more bright than its competitors apparently, and as I say, 50% more power efficient. Also has a wide viewing angle because of the IPS technology, and is also pure white. So we're going to look at that in a moment, of course. On the front also we have a forward facing camera, which is obviously for using video conferencing, that kind of stuff. The sensors here, which are going to be a little bit difficult to pick out in the black background, but that's proximity and ambient light sensor, and really kind of hidden away at the top there is the speaker. Underneath we have the touch sensitive buttons, so we have menu, home, back and search buttons, which are fairly typical of an Android powered handset. On this side, on the left, which can just peel off this little piece of protective tape there, we have up and down volume control, and also a little G button. Not 100% sure what that does. Possibly the camera, possibly just a toggle. Guess we'll find out shortly. On the bottom, a little hole which is the microphone. Swing around to the right hand side, there really isn't anything to see. You can see there's a slight tapered edge to the design. It tapers inwards towards the front, and the back is fairly curved. And on the top, let me just peel off this little sticker, we have the power and back and toggle button for toggling the backlight on and off, switching the display on and off. And then we have the micro USB connector, which looks like it has a cover over it. Yep, which slides backwards and forwards, like so. That's nice to actually keep that discreet and out of the way. And then next to that we have the 3.5mm headphone socket, so we can use the supplied wired headset or indeed our own headphones. The back cover pops off like so. Let's just do that. And I have the battery already installed, so it's a 1500 mAh battery, which is a pretty high capacity for a phone of this type and size. So it's a fairly large battery and high capacity. Space for the SIM card is just here, and the micro SD card just on the side also. And the back cover, although fairly plastic, is quite secure, pops on just like so. As you can see on the back, there is this nice curved edge or rounded edge, which means it does feel kind of nice in the hand. It's quite neat. There's a little loudspeaker grill just next to that as well. The forward facing camera is 2 megapixel, and the camera on the back is 5 megapixel autofocus with LED flash just next to it. You'll notice the with Google logo, obviously the LG on the back as well. So let's just see if we can power up. There we go. While it's coming on, let me just run down the rest of the specification. It's quad band for GSM and tri-band for HSDPA 3G, so it's going to work pretty much everywhere you take it throughout the world. In terms of size, it's 122mm from top to bottom, 64mm wide and just 9.2mm thick. Now LG claim that this is the world's thinnest smartphone, and before you start shouting at your computer screen, and I know that many of you are going to think, well, in actual fact the Samsung Galaxy S2 is thinner, well, that is both true and not true. The Galaxy S is thinner in places. There's obviously the thick part at the bottom and the thick part around the camera there. But the Optimus Black is consistent across the whole of the back at 9.2mm, which makes it the thinnest, currently the thinnest smartphone in the world. We have 2 GB of internal storage, plus I have been supplied with a 2 GB micro SD HC memory card, or micro SD memory card actually, it's not HC, but it will support up to 32. In terms of what you will get when it really makes it onto the retail market, I think it's going to depend on the carrier and the options actually provided. This one has Android 2.2 Froyo, but Gingerbread is going to be available very soon in order to upgrade it, so that's going to be a standard upgrade. And as I say, 480 by 800 pixel display is 4-inch. It has a 1 GHz processor, which is a Texas Instruments OMAP processor, coupled with 512 meg of RAM. And we also have built-in Bluetooth 2.1 with A2DP and EDR support, Wi-Fi supporting 802 to 11BG and N standards, which is also excellent. Digital compass and GPS also there for us to use. Weight exceptionally light, and it is really striking how light this is, but still feels sturdy, and it doesn't feel cheap in any way. It's only 109 grams, exceptionally light. So enough talking about that. Let's have a look. We'll slide up to unlock. It's a lot complaining about the battery, because obviously this has actually been shipped all the way from Korea directly, and therefore it's complaining about the charge. So we have the home screen. It's asking me to select city. From here we've got the browser, Gmail, market and camera. And already it's really clear to me how bright this display is. You're not going to be able to appreciate that on the video here, unfortunately. You have to take my word for it, but the whites are frankly exceptionally bright and free of any tint, and the display is extremely clear, and I don't think that is even at full brightness. We can cycle through 7 pages, so if we start all the way over on the right, we have a blank page here on home screen. Then we have music gallery, video player and YouTube. We have a favourite contacts, Google Talk, email, Facebook for LG and Twitter for LG. The other way, Google search with a voice search, alarm clock, calendar, maps and memo, Yahoo News, and another blank page. Phone dialer at the bottom, nice large display and large buttons. You got your call log, contacts and groups, which obviously aren't populated as yet because it haven't synchronized with anything. Also at the bottom, contacts, which effectively takes us back into the same place as if we'd gone in through the phone. Messaging, for text messaging and so on. And then finally at the bottom, all of our applications. So we can have a look through here. So you've got applications installed, and it's actually categorized. You've got applications there, 43 items, and downloads 0 items. Now as we build that up, I'm sure that's going to end up categorizing. It does say that we can pinch to collapse. So there we go, we can collapse the categories down. That's unusual, never seen that before. So that's kind of cool. In there we've got some fairly standard things, but I think what we'll do first of all is we'll go to the home screen. And do we have a form of elite view? Don't think so. Let me see. Yes, we do. So we have an overview view. So the home screen in the centre with the 7 panels around the outside of the home screen, which enables us to quickly navigate to those. I don't find this view particularly useful, but I know a lot of people will like it. So let's go back there. Buttons down the bottom, so we want to go into the menu, into settings, and wireless and networks. We'll turn the Wi-Fi on, and we'll connect to a Wi-Fi access point. You can see you have the Android keyboard underneath in portrait, and if I swing it around, we have a larger version of that in landscape. So let me put in the key, and there we are, connected to the wireless network there. So I'm going to come back out of here and back one more step. We're going to go and take a look at the About phone, and as you can see there, Android 2.2.2 and the code number, if you like, for this LG P970. As I say, that's the other name for the LG Optimus Black. Go back home then, and from here let's take a look at the browser and see how quickly this works and we can get around. So first of all, we're going to go to our site. You'll notice that there is a slight popping sound every time I'm keying, and not sure what that's all about. It's kind of annoying. It sounds like there's something not quite right with the loudspeaker, so we'll obviously investigate that a bit later on. But in the meantime, let's just carry on. So the page is loading pretty quickly. As you can see there, you use 2 fingers to zoom in and out, which is fairly typical. Double tap to get to one point and back out again. Notice the text reflow there as well, so it reflows to actually fit the page. That's pretty cool. The accelerometer works perfectly well, and it does rotate pretty quickly, so that's very good. And scrolling's, just as you'd expect it to be. In terms of the display, as I've already said, the white background here is exceptionally white, strikingly so. It does make it seem all the more brighter, or more bright. And in terms of the colours as well, the reproduction is very good, especially around the blue and the green at the top here, and the red with the Vodafone logo, so that's kind of cool. That's the browser. Come back out of here. We're going to go into Android Market, because I want to sign into here so we can get to the Gmail. So we're going to go ahead and sign in, and we'll do that now. So we sign in. We'll quickly pop into Android Market. You can see the notification icons at the top as well, which we'll look at that in just a moment, or might as well do that while we're waiting. So we've got the ability to turn off into mute mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS and sync. We can turn those off. There also is media control there as well, which is excellent to actually just have that in a pull down, so we can play, pause and skip the tracks in there. It tells me that there's no SIM cards inserted, and also I have removed the SD card, so it's synchronizing there. As you can see there, Gmail is actually it's coming down, so downloading something there, and installing Gmail. It's an update for Gmail, not synchronizing Gmail. and then we can swipe that back up at the top. Have a look in downloads. You can see there it's downloading Flash Player, Google Maps, Gmail, and YouTube there. And the download progress is actually shown in the corner. That's all coming down as we speak. So if we come back out of here and go to Gmail, because I've signed into Android Market with my Gmail account, as you can see, that's all synchronized up. And our Gmail, there we go, it's loading. That's pretty cool. And in terms of what else we have installed, let's take a look at the applications then. So we've already looked at the browser. Let's take a look at the camera. It's only 5 megapixel, which doesn't sound like a lot, but let's remember that it's not all about the pixel count. There are other factors. So let's I'll pick this, my favourite toy, to actually take a look at. No, seriously, I picked this because of the colours. You can see the colour, and I'm hopefully that's coming across to a degree in the video here. I'm not going to be able to take a photo because I should have installed the memory card, and you can only record the pictures onto the memory card, but I think you'll get the idea of what the sensor is doing, and the actual colour there with the camera is pretty damn good. So put that to one side. Clearly we'll do a bit more on that when it comes to do the full review, and we'll include plenty of sample pictures. We just push the button in the middle there to take the picture. We've got different scene modes, and we can bring up other things here. We can use the front facing camera or the back facing camera, different scene selections and zooms. So it has a digital zoom and a few other bits and pieces, automatic flash, and the full settings menu there for the autofocus, ISO, and all that kind of stuff. So that's your camera interface. There is also, along with the camera, while we're talking about camera, there's a gallery. Unfortunately there aren't any sample images. We then have Facebook for LG, finance, FM radio, which is a pretty straightforward. Does want me to install or plug in the headphones to make that work, which is the norm because the cable for from the headphones actually does act as the antenna. What else do we have? We have memo, messaging, music, MySpace for LG, navigation, news, different topics. That's actually provided by Yahoo. News and weather, phone, places, remote call. Not sure what that's all about. Look at that another time. There is this definite popping from the loudspeaker though, which is unfortunate. We need to look at that. So for LG, there's a video player, voice recorder, weather, what's new, and YouTube. So let's take a look at YouTube. Put the YouTube client and do a search for my alias, Leo D. See my videos, rapidly approaching 500 videos. It does tell us which ones are new, which is excellent. I do like the YouTube client on Android. I think it is the best of all of them out there. And as you can see, it just pop into one of these. Anyone will do, I guess. Let's just pick one, that one. And let's see how quickly it buffers. There we go, it's playing already. We turn it around the other way, it goes full screen. And pause that. I'm trying to pause that. There we go. Again, it's apparent the display is very, very good. And in fact, if I come out of here, let's see if we can change any of the display settings from the home screen. Oops, back in here. Settings, what else can we change? Display, I've gone past that a couple of times. So brightness is set to automatic brightness. We can turn that off, or we can turn it on automatic brightness, optimize brightness, or power saving mode. But if we set the brightness, it is all set all the way to the top, which is in itself quite impressive actually, because I'm working under bright lights so that you can see the handset properly, and it is nice and bright. So that's good. And say the detail and the quality here, the video isn't going to do that any sort of justice, unfortunately, just because of obviously the compression that you're going to see when it's gone up online, and the YouTube compression and everything else, but you have to trust the fact that that is exceptionally clear. I think I say that every time we have a phone, and it just seems that there's these little incremental steps in terms of display technology. This one is very good. You notice that the buttons at the bottom colour, so they're illuminated and they change colour as I'm pressing them, so they just turn blue as I'm going through them. That's a nice little feature. So I think that covers a lot of the key features and bits and pieces on the LG Optimus Black, apart from the button on the side, which we mentioned earlier on, the little G button. And if we press that down, it actually does use the G sensor in the handset in order to navigate around the home screen. And I think that will probably also work. See if it works elsewhere. Try the browser. And yep, so that allows us to use the accelerometer to move around web pages. Let's try a page that's got a bit more content. Yep, there we go. So I can actually use the accelerometer to move around the page content by holding down that G button. That's an unusual implementation of the accelerometer. That's pretty cool. So I'll have a full review of the LG Optimus Black or P970 over the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to do that in detail. Looking forward to actually trying it out, as it's nice and light. It's easily going to fit in my pocket. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/TracyandMatt or facebook.com/TracyandMatt.co.uk. Please do follow us and ask us any questions you might have about the Optimus Black, or indeed any other handsets that we may or may not be reviewing at the moment. We'll do our best to talk to you and to answer your questions. I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on TracyandMatt.co.uk, but for now, thanks for watching.
Bitdefender is dedicated to protecting people's digital lives, so working with unboxings.com to help preview and review the latest technology is a perfect fit.